a mile. This is at about the 5 mile stage, approaching halfway, and the pack has split up completely. It's down to the two people who are in main contention here, Peter Russman in the white vest and the grey shorts, and Mike Deegan, the new race leader, number 318, chasing him. Just in the background we'll probably catch a glimpse of Jeff Norman, who is in 3rd place and is improving almost with every stage of the tour. Still warm, still humid, even though it's 7:30 in the evening start. The week so far has been a good summer week for Britain, but not so good for the runners who have to slog it out over 52 miles, 6 stages in 7 days. It's dehydrating, it's energy sapping, it's enervating, it's tiring. And Peter, with a 33 seconds deficit, is deciding that he feels quite good and he's going to test Mike Deegan over the stage. And as they approach Stamford Street, as they enter Stamford Street in Ashton under Lyne, the gap has grown to 30 or 40 metres. I think Peter was looking through the window of the shop there. I don't think he was looking at camping equipment. He was seeing if he could catch a glimpse of Mike, see how far was behind in the reflection, without actually openly turning around and saying, look, I'm worried about you, where are you? Which is what runners try not to do. But I think he maybe did catch a glimpse of him, and with that lead that he's got, will have found a lot of confidence. He saw the continental habit there of cutting the corner. He's cutting the corner again. In road running, you're supposed to stay on the road, but continentals tend to run on the pavement when it's possible, and I've been in races where not only do they run on the pavement, they'll cut through a garden or a park if they can see somewhere easier to run. That was nearly a nasty accident with the dog there. It might have been nasty for Peter, but he avoided it well. Cuts the corner again across the pavement, following the car, a nice relaxed style. An empty Ashton under Lyne. It's probably 8 o'clock at night, so it's what the runners like. They don't like too much traffic on the road, and it's what the police like. The police are very, very helpful, and fortunately the races didn't provide too much of a traffic problem for them, but without their help it would be impossible to organise and efficiently run such a tour as this. But Peter is becoming a well-known figure now, and I think we'll hear soon some people shouting for him as he makes his way up to start the climb up into Mosley. Now that was a kid's voice, so he is getting well known. That's descriptive of the spirit of the tour. Mike Deegan well down now and suffering. Peter doesn't know the courses. He grabs a drink there. He doesn't want to drink it. He needs to keep cool. He's poured it on his head. He hasn't seen this course, I don't think, and it's a long, long climb up there. Jeff Norman, in fact, has moved into 2nd position now. Jeff, as we've explained before, is a specialist on the hills. Got a lot of strength in those legs. He's just past Mike there. Mike is really suffering, heavy-legged, and now being chased by Stan Curran, Dave Allen and Bengt Nordqvist. Well, Peter's striding away there, looking very relaxed, very calm. Staying on the road now, which is a good thing. He probably is getting slow. New Balance half marathon after the only rest day in the middle of the tour. He's over 5 laps of an Ashton under Lyne town centre course. Tim Johnson 267, well ahead in the veterans race there. People strolling towards the finish now. The longest stage of the tour. Slightly cooler than the previous 3 days of racing, so that will help the runs a little bit. But not that cool by English standards. heart attack. Well, he's probably had all the major heart attacks he's going to have in this tour. The toughest stages have gone. This is just a long one. Nothing really grueling with regard to hills and things. Just a long, pleasant run really around the streets of Ashton under Lyne. They're on the marks and away they go. One would expect a somewhat cautious sort of start on a race like this, but as we can see here, there's always somebody willing to go out there and make it go. And this time it's Dave Allen of Airedale and Spen Valley, followed closely by Peter Russman, who's now in the yellow race leader's vest again, washed and ironed and hung up to dry. And there is a new vest for every runner that takes on the race leader. They don't have to wash it or squeeze into a small or anything like that. We're very generous here. We provide a clean vest for everybody that takes on that mantle. Now, Mike Deegan's with me here still. You were 7 seconds down going into this stage. What were you feeling with the half marathon ahead? You're not, I mean, I know you've done a marathon and you can run long distances, but I mean, you've been running 1500 and 5000s on the track this year. What did you feel at on this particular stage, the longest one of the tour?
I was very apprehensive. If you like, the hill race was a very good day for me. Took the overall lead. The next day was as bad as I could feel. I felt very mentally and physically drained at the end of a marathon. I felt exactly the same at the end of Tuesday, and I honestly thought that I couldn't carry on. And it was lucky that we had a rest day. If we'd have done maybe a short race on the Wednesday, I don't think I could have done it. I was thankful for the rest day. I was still feeling very sore and very stiff from those two hard stages on Monday and Tuesday, and I was quite glad it was a nice sort of gentle start. Day went off fairly quickly, but as you can see here, there's about 12 of us in a bunch steadily pulling away, but there's nobody really pushing along at a very fast pace. You know, I think everybody's in the same boat today. Everybody's a little bit sore and a little bit tired and being a bit cautious, and that's exactly what I was thinking at the moment.
Yeah, they've reeled Dave in pretty quickly there, a big bunch up there, but a lot of people have said that as the tour has gone along they've got fitter and fitter. I suppose really for the top class men, they're super fit anyway, and all they're going to feel on top of this total fitness is a fatigue if you really, you know, put the boot in all the stages. But this is a good race here. I mean, you've probably got the main contenders in that group there. That sort of just sums up the race really. The first 12 are all together in the bunch, and then there's quite a considerable gap, and then we've got the sort of second echelon way down there, and I have to say sorry for that. I'm amongst the ones that are way down, but that's how it goes. Tim Johnston in 2 yellow vests in there, Peter Russman, the present race leader, and Tim Johnston, the veterans race leader. Veterans, obviously, as most people know, is over 40 runners. It's over 35 for women, over 40 for men. They call it Masters in the USA. And Tim is an excellent runner. He's running better and better. He had a time off from running after his Olympic career was over with, but he's coming back now with a vengeance, and he's picking up gold medals in veterans races all over the world, and also doing well in open competition. Nordqvist here is having a go, Mike. As you say, there's a big bunch up there. It's anybody's race on a day like today.
It was, I think it's a credit to Tim. If you just look at those runners there, it's too easy to overlook what they've done. Nordqvist, for instance, is a 2:15, 2:14 marathon runner. Peter Russman's about the same standard, and these guys are obviously in very good condition. Talking to them throughout the week, you know, they're doing 100, 120 miles a week, and I think Tim performed particularly well in that sort of class of competition for a guy of his age. No disrespect, so he certainly got up there and mixed it with them.
Oh yeah, he's in actual fact I thought he might be further up still. I'm not sure how many miles Tim's doing, but he is I wouldn't say a man of leisure. He's retired in actual fact, and does have free time on his hands for training, but at the age of 40 plus it's possible to do too much training. I think Tim is a very intelligent man, Cambridge University, and He's obviously worked out the fine training balance that he needs, and did perform very, very well in the tour.
A nice stage here on the back of the loop in the trees in the shade. I think it was quite pleasant.
It's a good course, this, isn't it? You've got one steep little climb, and then a bit of a drag, then downhill, then a long, long run down into Ashton under Lyne, where you can relax and start to stride. I mean, you're leading here, pushing the pace. Three Salford Harrys in the lead there. Yourself, Alan Sladen to your left in the black, white and grey, and then Stan Curran rocking and rolling his way on the outside of that group, on the left-hand side of the group as you look at your screen.
I think it's taken a couple of miles to get the stiff inside of the legs, and the tempo seems to be picking up a little bit now. But, this race felt a hell of a lot easier than Tuesday, I can tell you that.
We're probably on the quietest part of the course around the back to the north of Ashton under Lyne. We soon will come down and then turn left into Oldham Road and down to a feed station, which coincided with a very busy road junction and roadworks and made things a little bit hairy at times. But fortunately everything went well. There were no accidents, and next year should be far easier because the roadworks have now been completed. You can see lots of supporters running the opposite way around. Several clubs seem to have the training nights running the opposite way around, giving these guys support and obviously watching a fine race at the same time, which and who could ask for more than that? Down into Oldham Road now, still downhill, isn't it, Mike? And you're obviously, what you're feeling there, I mean, you're pushing the pace on a bit. You felt bad on Tuesday night, now you're making the pace.
I wouldn't say pushing so much. I'm not trying to get a break here. I think I just found myself at the front of the pack, and I'm happy to run along and run the same pace. If somebody comes past, that's fine. I'm not going to respond and make a run of it yet. I'm just quite happy to be up there at the front and not have to worry about maybe tripping in the bunch or which way I put my feet, anything like that. I've got a clear run. I can just concentrate on running and don't have to worry about car doors opening, things like that, which sometimes happen in these races.
You're too modest, Mike. I seem to remember there's a bit of a headwind going down here. I was tucking in behind anybody that I could on this particular stretch. We're approaching the big crowds, and Stan's going for his moments of glory here. I don't know whether he's sort of worried about the traffic and he needs to get a clear run there, but certainly he's pushing on the pace. And Peter Russman's obviously very serious. He's following anybody that's going into the lead. That's about, what, 3 or 4 yards there, which can be significant, but I don't think on this particular occasion was. I think the group closed a little bit after that.
They were away for about maybe 3/4 of a mile, but nothing, no real dangerous on the break really.
Down the field we go here. Mike Bolton, 113. And Rochdale. As we said before, these guys having their own little private battles. 5 laps, a long time to go, half a marathon, 13.1 miles. King in the yellow vest there, yeah, just gone through. Still leading the women's section of the race. Lots of running help is required here to give out drinks and sponges. It hasn't been raining, that's just the overflow from the cups that people grab and try to drink, or the sponges and they squeeze them on the road as well as on their heads and everything. Whoops, just got it. That is just pure water that these guys need at that stage. Columbus made a very decisive break. He's going to try and add to that lead that he's got. And what we're thinking here, Mike, obviously he's got away and you're staying with the rest of the field.
I thought I was suffering from a stitch at the time. Every day I seemed to be starving hungry after each stage, so I decided to risk scrambled eggs, and Stan's premature burst after one lap seemed to sort of catch me at the wrong time, and I'm suffering a little bit now. I think I've got over most of the stitching up this little hill. I started to realise that I was pulling him back slowly, so I wasn't too worried. I thought it was very early in the race. Tuesday.
Well, he never his heart attack, but here goes Sean right through there. He's now, where is he now, Mike? In Australia somewhere like that?
Who knows? Who knows? Building a wall somewhere.
He spent a long time working in Germany, Sean Bender, so he's a personal friend of ours, and that's the running community. And there's Wilma and Dan King going through the first two women on that particular stage. The good English Bobby directing the traffic, guarding the runners. The race commentating car just gone through there, and Peter's broken away again here. Mike, what's happening here?
This is going into the last lap on the fourth lap, which we seem to have missed due to looking at the tail end. We put a break in it.
And it's an area of fields, rough tracks, a true cross-country course, and on this particular day, in fact, a tough cross-country course because of the hard nature of the ground and the risks of twisted ankles and people having to take care on the course increase the difficulty of it. And quite a tortuous course to have so many runners on it, just under 300 runners. And there's Peter Russman straight into the lead. Usually a few surprises on this particular stage in the tour, but not on this occasion. The two main protagonists, like Deegan and Peter Russman, dominating the race as they did throughout the tour. But again, another novelty for many runners who come into the tour and only been used to running on roads. This is an introduction. They had the hill race on Monday night, and now they've got some cross-country running to do, and hopefully it'll whet their appetite for future races of this nature. There was a fun run after this race where kids were allowed to run one lap of the course, and there was a good turnout for that, as well as for the fifth stage, of the Tour of Tameside. Beautiful shot there, reflection of the runners in the lake and the countryside around Tameside. Beautiful countryside. And this is the first lap, and Peter Russman's burst at the start of that, but didn't last very long. Mike, you're looking very determined there, and you've got a good lead on him, 20 metres.
My thoughts were that he'd taken 10 seconds the night before, and I had 17 seconds to make up. I thought, well, I know the course, I've run it probably every year for the past 4 years, and I should use that to my advantage, make a break. I was worried Spines Peter decided not to, and I thought that again that would go to my advantage. So I thought, well, give it a whirl from the start, see how you can race. You do a few miles at that sort of speed, you suddenly realise that you're 37 miles behind you in the week, quality running. You're tired, you know. I felt like it could have been the end of the race after one lap.
Well, you can see it's pretty tricky in parts of the course, especially this end, and as you said, little bumps and bends. There's a guy nearly went down there. Had it been wet, it might have been even more difficult on that particular section, but these bumps, ups and downs, break the rhythm and certainly can tire you out a lot. I mean, you know, there's no chance for passing on this part of the course at all, and they're just, guys are content to run in single file and stay on their feet. Looking a bit tired, Mike Deegan enters the second lap.